Well, it appears the supermarket of eternal splendour has lost its lustre. I learned recently that this nationwide supermarket chain posted losses of 1.4 billion yuan in 2024. And I also saw on WeChat videos that in Chongqing, these stores are closing one after another. On this public notice board they have outside the main entrance, they make a sincere apology to the customer base and that they're closing down due to management and operational issues, and they want to conduct a nationwide reform of their business. But in the meantime, they're doing a clearance sale 7 days before they finally close tomorrow, and also the customers can use their store cards as normal. For most of the past decade, this has been, I would say, my favorite supermarket in China, and particularly after the commercial upgrade. I just find the environment is very pleasant. They have a really excellent range of products. The fruits, vegetables, meats they sell in here, all are pretty good quality, good prices. But at the same time, it does feel very indicative of the economic situation here. A lot of the commercial malls, supermarkets, recreational venues like KTV, the spa houses that the one we went to recently are getting pretty quiet. Now I do imagine it will be possible to buy groceries online and have them delivered for the foreseeable future. But personally, I rarely do this. And it doesn't matter whether it's the supermarket or the mall or go to a restaurant. I've always enjoyed coming out into society, just feeling the vibes, getting some fresh air and exercise. And that has always felt more appealing than just locking yourself in at home and sitting around by yourself or with the same people all day, every day. Also, it's my sincere hope that Shop & Co won't get their way and we become trapped in 15-minute city micro apartments with just books to eat. But with the way things are going, you just never know, do you? And in fact, today to get here, I drove about 30 minutes across the city in my ICE car, heaven forbid. But for me, it just sounds ridiculous that just driving around and burning a little bit of fuel, feeding the plant life with a bit of carbon dioxide is just going to destroy the planet and kill everybody. And I remember back to my school days in the 80s and 90s when they used to harp on about global warming, which later just became climate change. And there were loads of other things as well, whether it be the millennium bug, killer bees, acid rain, and in the end none of it came true. So now I'm well into my middle age, I just don't buy into any of this crap. And I'm also sure you'll notice that unlike some of those dystopian videos you see on other videos about China, particularly ones about damas, the old ladies who come and snatch everything, because I do pay a lot of attention to those videos and it is a popular subject, particularly when it comes to the elders, who they like to show videos of them, pillaging, all of the food at buffets and, snatching sale items and all that. But I can tell you that in all of my 20 years in China, I've never really seen anything like that. One thing that has also really impressed me today is that although the store is closing tomorrow, it is still very well stocked with perishables like fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. And it hasn't really been the mentality that, well, we're closing tomorrow, so let's not bother with normal operations and flog off all of the stock. But they still have more or less everything you need, including these yummy chicken's feet. Okay, let's have a quick look at the home appliances section. I don't really have any plans to buy anything today, but if there's something that really catches my eye, then why not? We already have a lot of this stuff at home, so we don't really need them. And even though they have a 30% discount, it's not really mind-blowing or anything. Now, 21 years ago when I first came to China, I did have a lot of cravings for Western food, whether it be cheese, breakfast cereal, breads, which they do tend to make a bit like cake here in the supermarkets. But now I'm well and truly weaned off of these things. It doesn't really matter too much that they don't have a huge selection of foreign products. One thing I was interested in picking up were some razor blades, but it appears they've all been sold out. I did mention earlier that supermarket staff can be really friendly here in China, and sometimes they can also be a little too helpful. They might be in there just to buy something trivial like a toothbrush, And if you hover in that section for 2 or 3 seconds without making a decision, somebody will rush over and they'll make lots of suggestions for you. I guess in Western countries, things are a lot more hands-off. So unless you have a specific need, the staff aren't really going to come and say anything or come and help you proactively.
叔叔你好，这里闭店这个事情你是什么感受的呢？会不会感觉难过什么的？
难过不会难过，当然等于说那里走了嘛，有另外的商家来噻。什么地方是会些他谁，什么地方还买噻。
对，还是很遗憾，对吧
Okay, I think we're about done. Okay then, we've taken one final look around this Lianfangqiao branch of Yonghui Supermarket. At the same time, I don't want to be melodramatic about this. It's not like every last Yonghui supermarket is closing down, and the one in the ring mall close to where I live is still going to be open for the foreseeable future. But it does make you wonder, if supermarkets were to close en masse in countries all across the world, what would we do in that kind of situation? So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you again in the city here sometime real soon.